You can finally stop trying to get clients without seeing any results, and you can just use this one Instagram strategy to introduce consistency within your business. Using this one Instagram strategy, you will be able to use the lead lists of your competitors completely ethically and legally in order to, well, steal their clients. And all of this is legal, I promise. But before I get into the 10 to 15 minute detailed breakdown of this specific strategy, let me just tell you why I have any sort of credibility or authority to even open my mouth about this topic. You see, I'm a consultant and growth partner for online coaches and consultants who want to scale their business by using systems that are right for their niche. And in the past few months, by doing that, I have generated over $60,000 for these experts. So having said that, without further ado, let's get straight into the video. Alright, so here's a step-by-step breakdown on how to steal clients from your competitors and do all of that legally with the IG loophole method. You see, let's just compare your funnel and your competitor's funnel, right? So your competitors likely have a bigger audience than you, have more people watching them, but this also means that they have bigger funnel inefficiency. And funnel inefficiency is defined as you have, the funnel steps, leads, book calls, and close. Let's just take these three, for example. And the funnel inefficiency is losing qualified leads with these funnel steps, even though you don't want to lose them. This can be because they get ghosted by your appointment setter or by yourself. Maybe they did not enter their information correctly and did not get an email, a reminder email that would remind them to get them on the call. And they just fell out of the system right over here. So they have funnel inefficiency where not only unqualified people get filtered out by the funnel, but also qualified people. Now, a marketing funnel's job is obviously to narrow down the people that eventually become your clients, because at the end of the day, you can't help everyone, and you need people, when they get to be your clients, to be nurtured already, and you need them to trust you already so that the collaboration can be as fruitful as possible. But let's say that you have a smaller audience, right? Here you have the opportunity for more funnel efficiency because you can focus more of your time per client, and you can forego losing qualified people. So here you will just have no one being lost, and this obviously represents an almost 100% funnel efficiency. Now, why exactly is this possible? Again, it's because you have increased time and effort invested per lead, therefore making it less likely that you just randomly lose them. You have more personalization, which means that leads will be more personally invested into actually getting on a call with you, because you can leverage the fact that you are personally speaking to them instead of just having systems automated messages in place like a lot of big accounts do, for example, that are not really tailored to your prospect's exact situation. And then the last one is you have less distractions, because distractions being other leads, other people that are vying for your attention. So having established this, so you have an advantage because you have more funnel efficiency. And now pay close attention to this. It also means that you can use the funnel inefficiency of this big creator, of this big competitor. You can talk to these people, and if you are able to include these people in your own funnel, then you will be able to profit of your competitor's audience and steal their clients. So this is how you do it. This is the step-by-step to stealing. Let's say that you are a coach who helps coaches start and scale. Then Samuel Millsap, in this case, is one of your biggest competitors. So he has over 300K followers. Now, Samuel Millsap has an inefficient process because he has over 300 followers, gets millions of views. So, for example, I've taken part in his appointment setting process, and I sort of looked at what he is doing exactly and what his setters are doing. And what you can see, he is not really sending me a Calendly link or anything, but is booking me in from the DMs. Now, it just happened to be the case that I told him I was available 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. my time, and he booked me in for 7 p.m., which is an insane inefficiency because I just told him that that wasn't a time that I was available. And then, oh shit, my fault, brother, good eyes. Okay, cool, but this is inefficient, right? Now he lost a lead. He potentially lost a lead. And very often he will lose these leads, because leads, if they see this happen, then What do you think they think about your business? What do you think they will receive when they finally join your program? Obviously, it's a very bad first impression, so it's inefficient, even though he has so many followers and he's making, well, some days he's making 30K, even though that's the case. So here's what I would do in order to steal his leads and steal the people that have fallen out of this sales process. First, export his followers, his quote-unquote leads, with the exporter for followers Chrome extension. So just download this, export the followers, put them into a Google Sheet so that you have everything outlined extremely clearly. Then you will have their username and their full name. Now from here, what you can do, you can either check these accounts out by yourself and sort of skim through all of these names and see sort of if you have an ICP of fitness coaches and you want to teach fitness coaches on how to scale, then you will look for things like Fit and Luca Lift. So those are like, or Chris Murray Fit, there we go. So those are fitness coaches. Ashton Wolf Fit, there we go. But if you are looking for just coaches in general, then you can apply a filter to the full name section, so to this column, where you will include a filter which says that the text should contain the word coach or something related to that. If you want to do fitness coach, then obviously the text should contain fitness or whatever you are looking for. You can apply multiple filters here and you can look for multiple people, because at the end of the day, he has 345K followers and you probably will not be looking through all of them at once. But once you have done this, and once you have your lead list, you have his clients that are potentially falling out of his favor by him having an inefficient process, then you can go out, reach out, and build relationships. Why do I say build relationships and reach out and not pitch them directly? Because in this case, they already know a big person in your industry. So for you to gain their favor, for you to gain those prospects' favor and be able to close them later on, you will need to establish a deeper kind of trust than just straight up pitching them, because they will know that there is a competitor out there who, already has all of this, more social proof than you, has more followers, has more people looking at their content. So for example, let's take Sue here, right? He reached out to me and he built a relationship by asking me about my split. So it was not a very upfront, pitch. It wasn't him telling me that, hey, you need my help and I'm here to help you. No. It was just connecting with me, and I went along with it. Health is always a priority. Then he mentioned where I live, whether networking is good, and then slowly but surely from a personal growth related topic. So that means, the physique that I have, going from that to network, and then from network to business, he was able to lock in the conversation and be able to bring up the fact that, I have a business and he's helping business owners like me. And then we can take it from there. And then we can work together in order to scale my business. And then we can hop on a quick call. Now, he didn't end up closing me, but I really loved this process and how he reached out, he built a relationship and went from there. So this is exactly what you can do once you have a lead list of high intent people, of people that want to make improvements in their life. So first reach out and build relationships, and then from there you can pitch them your services, or you can bring up the fact that, hey, I help these types of people, we can jump on a quick call, I can give you a couple of materials, and then if we see that it works from there, then we can potentially even work together. But after you have done everything here, then you can send them your calendar links. So for example, this one, by the way, if you're an online coach and consultant and you want to scale your business, then you'll find this calendar in the description and you can schedule a free funnel audit where you and me are going over your client acquisition system, find the leaks in your process that will eventually make the most money if fixed. But you can also just DM me the word build on Instagram, and then we'll just brainstorm a plan like that over text message, over the DMs, and then potentially hop on a call if it makes sense. So again, you lead people to your calendar, and then from there you lead people to your thank you page, here, because they have not known about you so far. You have just built a relationship. Here you can have a couple of videos where you are introducing yourself, not being too salesy, not being too pitchy, but at the end of the day, they should know what this is about. So your call is not confirmed. Just watch the short video to understand everything, what the next steps are. And then you can just link them to one of your long form content videos or sales assets where you are talking about what you essentially do, or you are showing a case study to them. Now, once you have done these steps, so you have actually exported the followers of your competitors. You have talked with people and built relationships, and you have booked them in on a call, and they know what you do. Then you just get people on the call with the typical pre-call sales process. So you first confirm the call over text, send them the sales asset again. So feel free to, if you have a long-form sales asset, to just send it over text. If you've booked it over Instagram, it's even easier. Second, then you send them a voice message on the morning of the call. So the call is on Monday. Then on Monday morning, 8 a.m., 9 a.m., whatever it is, you send them a quick voice message that, hey, David, my schedule got shifted a little, so I wanted to confirm our call today. Does X p.m. still work for you? And, then you get them to confirm. It's just a very quick way a very non-pushy way to confirm their call. And then from there, 1 hour, 30-minute reminder, you will also do that manual. It's just so much more effective. You have the third step that, hey, we'll be able to join in 30 minutes. Here's the link to the call. And then, they will even thank you for reminding them and giving them the meet link so that there is absolutely zero confusion. Now, once you have completed these steps, so this is step 5 from here, essentially, then you take the sales call. Now, on the sales call, you have a couple of things that you have to pay attention to be able to steal these high-profile competitors' clients and leads. Because if you mess this part up, then everything else just goes to waste. So in the sales call, you will have this framework. First, have the intro, have the frame, then the discovery, make a transition to the pitch, where you actually ask the prospect for permission to pitch so that they are asking for it, and then you just close them. Now, I will be going into this in more depth on other videos, but for this one, I just have a quick outline over here. This will be the introduction, the discovery, and then finally here, the transition. Now, another thing that's very, very important when it comes to sales calls is a certain pre-call ritual. Pre-call ritual is a certain amount of steps that you are doing before every single call. That means that you have to have this checklist in front of you before every single call, because the most basic things are the easiest to forget. And the most basic things are what make you the most revenue after all. So, for example, you can just pause the video and just read through this. I will not be covering this in too much detail, but again, in other videos, I will definitely get over to actually covering this as well. These are the known negotiables for every single sales call. Now, once the sales call is over, you collect cash and onboard the client, but essentially, even if you close them, you will still track them. And when you're tracking, make sure you are tracking everything under the sun. You are tracking every single piece of data that can give you a good reason to make a decision going forward. So, for example, revenue, cash collected, then cash collected after fees. That you could put that over here. Then having the source of the calls. So are they coming from Instagram? Are they coming from cold outbound? Are they coming from email? Where are these calls coming from? And then being able to filter your calls, your data, based on where calls are coming from or any other relevant variable. Now, when tracking calls, a lot of people make the mistake of only tracking closing rates, but that's a huge mistake. Because you first have to track how many live calls there were, how many no-shows, how many of those live calls were qualified, and have the qualification rate under there. Because if you have the qualification rate, then you can distinguish between marketing and sales problems. Because if your qualification rate is low, so that means that this is low, then this is a marketing problem, right? But if your closing rate, your qualified closing rate, I want to say, is low, then it's definitely a sales problem, because your sales reps or you are not closing qualified people on the call. What even makes a qualified person? You can determine that by the BANT framework. So use the BANT framework. B is budget. Do they have the budget that makes someone qualified? Do they have the authority? A, authority to make the decision. Do they have N, the need to make a transformation right now and to opt in for your product? And T, do they have the time? Is this a good timing? And if they have all of these 4, then they are qualified, and then you can consider them qualified. So in summary, it's not enough to track only the closing rate, but you have to know exactly what your no-show rate is, what your qualified closing rate is, and then also your closing rate. And all of these data points together will give you a picture on what to improve on. Okay, but let's say you're doing everything like that perfectly, and it still is a no-close. Then a couple of guidelines to when someone is not closed on the call and you need to book a follow-up call or do other steps with them. First comes the BAM-FAM framework. Book a meeting from a meeting. This is so evident, but so many people just leave the call with, okay, I'll just text you in the evening when I'll be free. Okay, I'll just get back to you. No. If that happens, consider that call lost. Consider that prospect not closed, not only not closed, but also completely lost. You will never close them. That's what sort of attitude you have to have. And if the prospect wants to look at their calendar in 2 hours, don't let them. So just tell them to book in a time, find a time, and then worst case scenario, you will be able to reschedule. But again, just having a meeting that you are intending to reschedule is also better than not having a meeting whatsoever, because a reschedule is a lower friction task than scheduling a meeting from zero. Okay, so let's say that you are perfectly doing that. Then it comes to the deposit. If your prospect is having technical difficulties with some of their credit cards, with their credit card limits, for example, still get a deposit. If they tell you that, trust me, I'll pay later today, or trust me, I'll pay tomorrow, trust me, I'll do whatever, still get a deposit. And how you can frame this to make this natural and not come off salesy and pushy, you can just tell them that it's a policy within our company, if it's a policy that I do, that if I don't get a small commitment from you on this call, then unfortunately I can't really save the spot, and therefore we can't really move forward from there. So be comfortable asking for deposits and be comfortable making deposit as small as necessary. You can also collect $50 deposits. You can collect $100 deposits, even though your service is $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000. You can still do this, because at the end of the day, this will tie them a little bit more to you. And just like with the BAM-FAM framework, giving someone more money is easier than giving them money from zero when you have not yet paid them so far. All right, let's say that the deposit is also locked in, and then back to the setting team. If someone is in no close and they don't book a meeting from a meeting and they don't give you a deposit because, for example, the timing is not right? So maybe they are almost qualified, but their timing is missing. Then what you would do, you would give them back to the setting team, the appointment setting team. If you are just doing it alone, then you would just do it alone and then write their name into your appointment setter tracking sheet, something similar to this one. And then you will, wait for them until the timing is right. So if the timing is not right, if they are not in an ideal financial situation, or they are not just mentally committed to the transformation just yet, then you can hand them back to the setting team or to your setter sheet, and then you will be able to wait for them until the situation is right and until they can enroll in your program. All right, so this was the 6-step process on how to steal competitors' clients and how you can make your client acquisition consistent. So if you like this video and you found it valuable, then, do the YouTube things, like, comment, subscribe, share, whatever it is. And if you're an online coach or consultant and you want to scale your business and you want me to implement systems like this and systems that are specifically working for your niche, then go to the description of this video. There you will find my Instagram and DM me the word build. So let me build, there we go. DM me the word build on Instagram. And if you do that, then we'll brainstorm a plan for your specific coaching business and how to grow it in your specific niche. Hope to talk to you soon. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.